Dear seniors, let me help you avoid these 7 dangerous foods as we get older. What we eat matters more than ever. Our bodies become more sensitive to sugar, chemicals, and poor quality ingredients. That's why today, I want to share with you 7 foods that are doing more harm than good, especially if you're over 60. And don't worry, I'll also tell you what to eat instead. Let's take care of your health, step by step. Let's start with something that many people still believe is harmless, even healthy: fruit juice. You wake up in the morning, make yourself a nice breakfast, and pour a glass of orange juice. It tastes fresh, sweet, and comforting. Maybe you've done this for years. It's part of your routine, and I completely understand. We grew up believing juice was good for us, especially when it says 100% natural, vitamin C, or no added sugar. But unfortunately, the truth is very different now. Today, I want to explain what happens inside your body when you drink a glass of juice or soda. And I promise by the end of this, you'll see these drinks in a new light, and you'll feel empowered to make a smarter choice for your health. What is liquid sugar? Liquid sugar refers to any drink that contains large amounts of sugar without fiber, and this includes soda, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, store-bought fruit juice, orange, apple, grape, etc. Sweet iced teas, energy drinks, sports drinks, like Gatorade, even smoothies in bottles. The problem with these drinks isn't just how much sugar they contain, it's how quickly that sugar enters your bloodstream. At Y section negation, what happens in your body when you eat a piece of fruit, say, an orange, you're getting sugar, yes, but it's surrounded by fiber, water, and nutrients. Your body takes time to digest it, and that sugar is released slowly. The fiber tells your stomach, hey, slow down, this isn't an emergency. But when you drink fruit juice or soda, it's like opening the floodgates. The sugar hits your system fast and hard. There's no fiber to slow it down. Your blood sugar spikes. And to deal with that sudden surge, your pancreas has to release a large amount of insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. If this happens once in a while, your body can handle it. But if you drink these sugary drinks every day, even just one glass, over time, your system starts to wear down. You might begin to experience weight gain, especially around the belly, tiredness after meals, cravings for more sugar, mood swings or brain fog, and eventually, more serious conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or fatty liver disease. And yes, even if you don't feel anything right now, the damage could be happening silently. But juice has vitamins, right? That's what the labels want you to believe. But here's something they don't tell you. Most store-bought juice is pasteurized, meaning it's heated to high temperatures to kill bacteria, but that process also destroys many nutrients. Some orange juice is stored in large tanks for up to a year with the oxygen removed. By the time it reaches you, it's far from fresh. Companies add flavor packs to make it taste better, artificial compounds that mimic the taste of oranges. In the end, you're left with a drink that contains a lot of sugar and very little nutrition. For example, a small glass of orange juice, about 250 milliliters, contains about 25–30 grams of sugar, that's 7 to 8 teaspoons of sugar, and there's no fiber to slow it down. It's the same sugar rush you'd get from drinking a soda. At Y section, why it's especially important after age 60. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our bodies don't burn energy as quickly, and our cells become less sensitive to insulin. That means the sugar stays in your bloodstream longer, causing inflammation, damage to blood vessels, and more strain on your organs, especially the pancreas, liver, and brain. High sugar intake in older adults is linked to memory problems and cognitive decline, worsening arthritis and joint pain, vision issues. Sugar affects the eyes, greater risk of heart disease. And here's something that surprises many people: drinking too much juice is one of the quiet causes of fatty liver, even if you never touch alcohol. What should you drink instead? I'm not here to take away your enjoyment, I'm here to help you swap harmful habits for better ones. Instead of soda or juice, try Water with lemon or cucumber slices is refreshing and full of natural flavor. Herbal teas like peppermint or chamomile. Sparkling water just make sure it's unsweetened or sweetened with natural alternatives like stevia. Zevia, a popular sugar-free soda made with stevia. No harmful chemicals. And if you really miss fruit juice, try blending whole fruit with water or ice into a smoothie. That way you keep the fiber. Currency diuresis. The final thought on liquid sugar. I want you to feel strong, clear-headed, and energized every day. And one of the simplest ways to start is by removing sugary drinks from your routine. You may not notice the effects immediately, but over weeks and months, you'll see more stable energy, better digestion, easier weight control, sharper thinking, healthier blood sugar and blood pressure. You have the power to take control of your health, and it starts with what's in your glass. Let's talk about something that's probably sitting in your fridge right now: mayonnaise. For many people, mayonnaise is a staple. We use it in sandwiches, salads, dips. It's creamy, rich, and comforting. You might have used it your entire life, and no one ever told you it could be harmful. But I'm here to gently explain something you probably didn't know. The mayonnaise sold in most grocery stores today contains highly processed oils that are doing real damage to your health, especially if you're over 60. That's why what's really in that jar? If you take a moment to turn the jar around and read the ingredient label, you'll likely see words like soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, and sometimes even vegetable oil blend. Now, these oils don't sound very scary at first. After all, they're from plants, right? But what most people don't realize is how these oils are made. They don't just press soybeans and out comes gold oil like you might do with olives. No, it's a very industrial process. Let me walk you through it. Digestion. How industrial seed oils are made. To extract oil from soybeans, canola, or corn, companies use high heat, which damages the oil's structure and creates unstable compounds. Chemical solvents like hexane, a byproduct of gasoline, to pull out more oil. Deodorizers to remove bad smells. Bleaching agents to make the oil look nice and clean. What you end up with is not a fresh, natural oil. It's a heavily refined chemical mixture that your body doesn't recognize as real food. That's why this matters more as we age. Now, here's where it becomes personal, especially for those of us over 60. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, we do need some omega-6s in our diet, but only in small amounts. The problem is that these seed oils throw off the balance in our bodies. When we have too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, from fish, flax, or walnuts, our bodies shift into a state of chronic inflammation. Inflammation might not feel like anything right away, but over time, it's at the root of many health issues: joint pain and arthritis, heart disease, Alzheimer's and cognitive decline, high blood pressure, autoimmune disorders, even some cancers. And here's another concern: 95% of soil in the U.S. is genetically modified, which means it's grown using heavy pesticides, including a chemical called glyphosate, which is now linked to liver problems and hormone disruption. In short, these oils are sneaking into your body and creating silent, long-term harm. That's why you might be surprised where these oils are hiding. Mayonnaise is just the beginning. These harmful oils are found in salad dressings, packaged dips, frozen meals, baked goods, even so-called healthy items like hummus and veggie spreads. When you add it all up, the average person is eating hundreds of grams of these oils every week, without even realizing it. And you're not alone. These oils are used because they're cheap, not because they're good for you. That's why. And what to use instead? The good news: you don't have to give up mayo, you just need a better version. Here are healthier alternatives. Avocado oil mayonnaise. This is creamy, delicious, and full of heart-healthy fats. A trusted brand is Primal Kitchen, but there are others too. Olive oil mayo. Be careful here. Some brands only have a little olive oil and still use soybean oil as the main ingredient. Check the label. Make your own. You can whip up your own mayo at home with just egg yolk, mustard, lemon juice, and olive oil. It takes just a few minutes and is worth it. If you're someone who enjoys egg salad or tuna salad, Just swapping out the mayo can greatly reduce inflammation and support your joints, heart, and memory. 3. Processed cheese products. Not really cheese. Not really food. What is processed cheese exactly? Here's a little known fact: if a product contains less than 51% actual cheese, it's not legally allowed to be called cheese in many countries. So, food companies came up with new names: processed cheese product, pasteurized prepared cheese food, cheese flavored melt. Sounds technical, and it is, because these products are more food science than food itself. They are made by taking small amounts of real cheese or milk protein concentrate, mixing it with modified starches, vegetable oils, like soybean or canola, emulsifiers, and preservatives, then heating and whipping it into a smooth, shelf-stable paste. Often, they're dyed to look more like real cheddar or American cheese. The result is a product that melts beautifully on a burger but gives your body very little real nutrition. At why currency? Why are they so common? The answer is simple: they're cheap. Real cheese is expensive to make and store. It needs time to age and proper refrigeration. Processed cheese, on the other hand, doesn't spoil quickly, melts perfectly, tastes consistently salty and satisfying, can be made in huge quantities. This makes it perfect for fast food restaurants, school lunches, microwave meals, and snack foods. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's safe for regular consumption. At why section: why it matters more after age 60. As we age, our bodies become less tolerant of synthetic and processed ingredients. Our digestion slows down, our liver and kidneys become more sensitive, and our need for nutrient-dense foods becomes greater. Here's why processed cheese products are particularly harmful for older adults. They often contain very high sodium levels, which can raise blood pressure and strain the heart. The artificial emulsifiers and thickeners can irritate the digestive system, contributing to bloating, acid reflux, or constipation. The fats in these products often come from refined vegetable oils, which promote inflammation and joint pain. The lack of healthy fats and fat-soluble vitamins found in real cheese, like vitamin K2, which supports bone and heart health. In other words, these products take the parts of cheese that we love: the taste, the texture, and strip away all the good stuff. At why section: 3/4 what's on the label. Let me show you an example. Here's a typical ingredient list from a popular processed cheese slice: skim milk, soybean oil, milk protein concentrate, modified food starch, maltodextrin, a sugar, artificial color, preservatives. Notice how milk or cheese comes after a list of industrial ingredients. This product was designed to mimic cheese, not to nourish you. And some of these ingredients, like maltodextrin, are actually worse for your blood sugar than regular sugar. What should you eat instead? You don't have to give up cheese. In fact, real cheese can be wonderful for you when chosen wisely. Here are some excellent options: aged cheddar, full of flavor, and naturally lower in lactose; Swiss, Gouda, or Parmesan, often well tolerated, even by sensitive stomachs; goat cheese or sheep cheese, easier to digest and rich in nutrients; raw or grass-fed cheese, contains more omega-3s and vitamin K2. When you eat real cheese, you're getting calcium for bones, vitamin for eyes and skin, healthy fats that support your brain and hormones, and even a small amount of natural probiotics. Just remember, quality matters more than quantity. 4. Protein bars. Candy disguised as health beats really inside a protein bar? If you turn over the wrapper and look closely at the ingredient list, you'll find a long string of unrecognizable words, many of which your body has trouble processing. Let's break it down. 1. Low-quality protein. Many bars use cheap protein sources like soy protein isolate, milk protein concentrate, wheat gluten. These are highly processed and often come from genetically modified sources. They're also difficult to digest and can cause inflammation, especially in people with sensitive stomachs or mild food intolerances. 2. Artificial sweeteners and syrups. To make the bar taste good while keeping the sugar number low on the label, manufacturers use ingredients like maltitol, isomalto-oligosaccharides, brown rice syrup, tapioca syrup, sucralose. These sweeteners can cause bloating, gas, diarrhea, and blood sugar spikes. Yes, even the ones that claim to be low glycemic, and many people over 60 are more sensitive to these effects than they realize. 3. Modified fibers. Some bars proudly claim to have 15 grams of fiber. Sounds great, right? But often, this fiber comes from chicory root extract, soluble corn fiber, or inulin. These are not natural whole food fibers. Instead, they're processed to bulk up the bar and make you feel full, but they often lead to digestive discomfort like cramping or bloating, especially in older adults whose digestion may already be slower. 4. Industrial oils and fillers. You'll also find palm oil, soy oil, and sunflower lecithin, all of which are ultra-processed and add inflammation-promoting fats to your diet. Some bars even contain preservatives, gums, and food dyes. All of this is a long way from anything we'd call real food. At Y currency macron, what happens when you eat one? Now here's the most important part. You eat a protein bar expecting energy, satiety, and nutrition, but what actually happens? Your blood sugar may spike from the hidden syrups and refined starches. Your insulin rises to bring that sugar back down, which can lead to a crash and more cravings later. Your digestion slows down or becomes uncomfortable due to the gums and modified fibers. Your gut bacteria get confused, overwhelmed by synthetic ingredients and low-quality protein. And worst of all, your body may not even absorb the nutrients that are printed on the label. Why? Because without natural cofactors, like enzymes, whole food fibers, or healthy fats, those vitamins and minerals don't get used effectively. You're left with a bellyache, sugar cravings, and a false sense of having eaten something healthy. At Y section, why this matters more as we age after 60. Our digestive strength decreases, our insulin sensitivity drops, and our need for clean, nourishing food increases. Many people in this age group are managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, constipation or irregular digestion, mild cognitive decline, joint stiffness and inflammation. Eating a protein bar filled with artificial ingredients, sugars, and factory-made proteins is like adding fuel to all of those fires. Even bars labeled keto or low-carb are often packed with sugar, alcohols, and processed binders that disrupt your gut and trick your metabolism. What should you eat instead? Don't worry, there are real, nourishing alternatives that are just as convenient and far better for your health. Here are a few great on-the-go options. At YNS, hard-boiled eggs, nature's perfect protein, portable, satisfying, and full of nutrients. At Y section, a slice of real cheese provides fat and protein without sugar or artificial junk. At YN, copyright before turkey jerky, look for brands with no added sugar or message. At YNO, a handful of raw or dry roasted nuts, say almonds, walnuts, or macadamia nuts, provide healthy fats and protein. At YN, pound homemade protein balls, made with nut butter, chia seeds, coconut flakes, and a little raw honey. And if you truly want a bar, find one with less than 5 ingredients, no artificial sweeteners, and real food components, like Rick's bars or homemade options. 5. Flavored and sweetened yogurt, when healthy isn't healthy. Let's talk about the sugar. Most flavored yogurts add the kind with fruit at the bottom or fancy names like vanilla swirl or strawberry banana are loaded with added sugar. Just one small serving, about 150 grams or 5 ounces, often contains 18 to 25 grams of sugar. That's 5 or 6 teaspoons. More than what's in a bowl of ice cream. More than your body can comfortably process in one sitting. The trouble is, this sugar is often hidden behind terms like evaporated cane juice, fruit concentrate, natural sweetener, organic cane syrup. It sounds healthier than plain old sugar, but to your body, it's all the same. And remember, even if it comes from fruit, once it's processed, heated, and blended into yogurt, the fiber is gone, and the sugar hits your bloodstream fast. At Y section, what does that sugar do inside your body? When you eat sweetened yogurt, your blood sugar rises, your insulin levels spike to bring it down. Your body stores the extra sugar as fat, especially around the belly. Over time, this causes fatty liver, weight gain, and insulin resistance. Even worse, all that sugar feeds the wrong bacteria in your gut. You may have heard that yogurt contains probiotic bacteria that help your digestion. That's true for some yogurts, but when you add sugar to the mix, those probiotics are overwhelmed by harmful bacteria and yeast that thrive on sugar. So while you think you're helping your gut, you may actually be feeding the bad guys. At Y section superscript A, artificial additives, colors, thickeners, and flavors. Many flavored yogurts, especially the brightly colored ones, contain artificial colors, like red number 40 and blue number 1, gums and stabilizers, like carrageenan or gar gum. Artificial or natural flavors that come from chemicals, not real food. These ingredients are added to make a yogurt look smooth, thick, fruity, and fresh even after sitting on a shelf for weeks. But your body doesn't know how to process these synthetic chemicals easily. In older adults, these additives can trigger digestive upset, bloating, gas, loose stools, joint discomfort, from inflammation, skin irritation, and possibly even mood swings or brain fog. You deserve real food, not a laboratory project disguised as a health snack. At Y broken bar. What about the calcium? Yes, a yogurt can contain calcium, which is important for bone health. But here's something most people don't know. Your body needs more than just calcium to keep bones strong. You also need vitamin K2, found in certain cheeses and grass-fed dairy, magnesium and vitamin D, and you need your body to be able to absorb the calcium. But when you combine calcium with high sugar, it actually interferes with calcium absorption. That means much of the calcium in your sweetened yogurt may go to waste or worse, end up in places it doesn't belong, like arteries or joints. What should you eat instead? Now for the good news. You don't have to give up yogurt. You just need to choose the right kind, the kind that's actually nourishing. Look for plain, full-fat yogurt, no sugar, no flavors, no dyes, preferably grass-fed, and from cows that produce A2 milk, easier to digest. Even better, Bulgarian yogurt or kefir, which contain a wider variety of beneficial bacteria. Add your own fresh or frozen berries, a few crushed walnuts, or a drizzle of raw honey if you want a little sweetness, but now you're in control. These options are easier on your blood sugar, supportive of gut health, better for your bones, and much more filling and satisfying. 6. Soy protein, the misleading ingredient that's everywhere. How soy protein is made. Unlike traditional soy foods like tofu, tempeh, or miso, which are fermented and eaten in moderation, the soy protein used in protein bars, meal replacements, and snacks is highly processed. Here's how it's made. Soybeans, usually genetically modified, are first crushed and defatted. The remaining pulp is washed in chemical solvents like hexane, a petroleum byproduct used in gasoline. It's then dried, bleached, and formed into a powder or chunks. This product is shelf-stable, flavorless, and very cheap to produce, which is why food companies love it. But your body? Not so much. At Y section negation, how it affects your health, especially over 60. As we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to chemicals, hormones, and digestive stress. Unfortunately, soy protein can quietly worsen many common health concerns. 1. Digestive trouble. Many people over 60 already experience slower digestion, bloating, constipation, or gas. Soy protein is very hard to break down, and because it often contains residue from chemical solvents, it can further irritate your gut. Some people experience discomfort after eating soy and don't realize soy was the cause, especially because it's hidden in so many foods. 2. Hormonal disruption. Soy contains phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. While a little may not be a problem for some, larger amounts over time can disrupt men's testosterone levels, affecting energy, muscle, mood, women's estrogen balance, especially post-menopause, thyroid function, which affects metabolism, memory, and mood. And remember, soy protein is often consumed daily in meal shakes, health bars, vegan burgers, and protein powders. Over time, it adds up. 3. Liver stress. Some studies suggest soy protein isolate may contribute to fatty liver disease, especially when consumed in large amounts alongside sugar or processed oils, a common combination in bars and snacks. 4. Immune and allergy concerns. Soy is one of the top 8 allergens in the world. Many people are sensitive to soy without knowing it. The effects can be subtle. Skin issues, joint aches, fatigue, mucus and sinus problems. Over time, these signals can get louder until one day, you realize your body has been quietly reacting for years. Dimicroidiaresis where is soy protein hiding? Even if you don't eat tofu, you might still be consuming soy protein daily. It's commonly found in protein shakes and powders, energy and nutrition bars, vegan meat substitutes, burgers, nuggets, sausages, meal replacement drinks, high-protein cereals, even in some processed deli meats or frozen meals. The labels don't always say soy in big letters. But look for protein isolate, textured vegetable protein, or hydrolyzed vegetable protein. These are all code for processed soy. What should you eat instead? Thankfully, there are safe, wholesome sources of protein that don't carry the risks of soy protein isolate. Here are some of my favorites for older adults. Mayonnaise eggs, nature's perfect protein, easily digestible, rich in vitamins. Section real cheese, choose full fat, aged cheeses from quality milk. Fish and seafood, salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide protein plus omega-3s. Copyright grass-fed meat, lean cuts in moderation give strength and stamina. Lentils or chickpeas. If you like plant protein, these are much better choices, and easier on the gut. Whey protein isolate from grass-fed cows. This is highly absorbable and excellent for smoothies. And if you want a plant-based protein powder, look for pea protein or hemp protein. They're cleaner, simpler, and gentler on the body. 7. Modified food starches, the hidden carbohydrates that spike your blood sugar. What are modified starches? Starches are a type of complex carbohydrate found naturally in foods like potatoes, rice, and corn. But when companies make modified starches, they extract the starch from a plant, process it through chemicals, acids, and heat, alter its structure to make it behave like a thickener, filler, or binder. These aren't the same as natural carbs like you'd find in a cooked sweet potato or beet. They are highly processed, often bleached, sprayed, or extracted using solvents, and the final product doesn't contain any real nutrition. They are used in packaged foods to make sauces thick and smooth, extend shelf life, help baked goods hold together, mimic the texture of fat in low-fat foods. And because they don't have a sweet taste, many people don't realize they're essentially eating sugar in disguise. What do they look like on labels? Look for names like modified cornstarch, maltodextrin, tapioca starch, food starch, pre-gelatinized starch, dextrins, resistant starch, often misleading. These ingredients show up in soup mixes, gravies and sauces, gluten-free baked goods, frozen dinners, crackers and chips, healthy veggie-based crusts, even in deli meats and salad dressings. Negation. What happens in your body? The biggest issue with modified starches is how they affect your blood sugar. Even though they aren't technically classified as sugar, your body breaks them down into glucose very quickly. In fact, some starches like maltodextrin have a higher glycemic index than table sugar. This means fast blood sugar spikes, followed by a crash in energy, which triggers cravings, fatigue, and mood swings. For older adults, especially anyone managing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, brain fog or fatigue, these starches can quietly make things worse. Even if you think you're eating healthy. The inflammation link. Modified starches do more than just affect your sugar levels. They've also been linked to chronic inflammation, increased belly fat, insulin resistance, leaky gut syndrome, immune system stress, and unlike natural starches, these industrial ingredients don't come with fiber, minerals, or vitamins. That means your body has to borrow nutrients from itself to digest them, weakening your bones, depleting your reserves, and leaving you more vulnerable over time. Think of them like a withdrawal from your health bank account, without ever making a deposit. Section why this matters more as you age after 60. Our body's ability to regulate blood sugar becomes more fragile. Our pancreas may not produce insulin as effectively. Our muscles store less glycogen. Our liver becomes more sensitive. All of this means that even moderate amounts of hidden starch can raise blood sugar for hours, increase inflammation in joints, disrupt sleep patterns, contribute to brain fog or forgetfulness, lead to weight gain even without eating too much. And because these starches don't look or taste like sugar, they often fly under the radar. What should you eat instead? Don't worry, you can still enjoy hearty, delicious foods without relying on these fake fillers. Here are natural alternatives to common starch-based ingredients. Sweet potatoes or yams full of fiber, vitamin A, and naturally slow-digesting carbs. Beets or carrots slightly sweet, but packed with antioxidants and easy on blood sugar. Section cauliflower mash a great substitute for white potatoes in soups or sides. Pound arrowroot powder or almond flour for thickening or baking without spikes. Negation real veggie crusts but check the label. Some cauliflower crusts still contain tons of modified starch. And if you're eating soups, sauces, or frozen meals look for brands with no starches or only real, whole ingredients listed. Dear friend, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you not just for reading, but for caring about your health, your energy, and your future. We've talked about a lot of foods today: juices, fake cheeses, protein bars, flavored yogurts, and more. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed or even frustrated. Maybe you're thinking, I've been eating this stuff for years. A broken bar. Is it too late to change? Please hear me clearly. It is never too late to make better choices. Every small step you take toward real, nourishing food makes a difference. Your body is always listening, and it's never stopped trying to heal, and it just needs your help. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with one item in your pantry, one habit in your routine, one new label you read. That's how lasting change begins. Not with guilt, but with awareness and care. You've lived a rich life. You've experienced things that younger people haven't, and you know the value of clear thinking, steady energy, strong bones, and good sleep. You deserve foods that support all of that, not foods that slowly take it away. So today, I encourage you to treat your food like you treat your home, your relationships, your wisdom, with love, with respect, with intention. Here's to more mornings where you wake up energized, more meals that leave you satisfied, not sluggish, more clarity in your mind, lightness in your body, and peace in your heart. Because real food does more than nourish. It gives you life, with warmth and gratitude. Your health hack.